If there's one thing that's as stigmatized and misunderstood as our cycles, it's female sexuality. Hi, I'm Vinisha, Mira sex hormones tester, and this is day 25 of my cycle. Today I went to the bathhouse to get a little work done and sink into relaxation and help my body simply find some comfort in the days before my period. My mood today is a 4 out of 10. Motivation and productivity is at a 2 out of 10, my sex drive is at a 4 out of 10, and my self-confidence is at a 3 out of 10. I tested this morning with the Max Swan, so let's check today's hormones. Everything seems to be trending down still, and it's estimated that my period will start in 4 days, so my fertility score is a 1 out of 10. That looks about right to me. My LH is at 2.3, my E3G is at 122.3, and my PDG is at 6.4. Our libido varies throughout the menstrual cycle due to hormonal changes. During the follicular phase, as estrogen levels rise, that's when we begin to notice an increase in sexual desire. And as estrogen peaks during our fertile window, we're more likely to feel beautiful, sexy, confident, aka in the mood. After all, ovulation is when our bodies want to have sex to procreate. But as the cycle progresses into our luteal phase, estrogen drops and progesterone rises. It's usually accompanied by a noticeable decrease in libido. Of course, everybody is different, but our hormones do significantly impact our sex drive. However, society often imposes unfair stigmas and misconceptions on female sexuality. There's this rigid frame of judgment placed on being sexy or sexual. Either we're expected to be prude and not openly sexual, and when we're not, we're often labeled as promiscuous or overtly sexual. These stigmas can create double standards and overlook the diversity of our sexual desires and needs. I was surprised this month being prompted to log my sex drive daily as I tracked my hormones. For me personally, the phases and times through which I feel the sexiest or have the highest libido end up being during my period, obviously during my fertile window, and surprisingly enough when progesterone begins to peak during my luteal phase. Interesting fact, that last part about my luteal phase actually places me in the 11% of women and people with ovaries that actually log having a sex drive when progesterone rises during their luteal phase. But with all that said, we need to embrace a more inclusive view of female sexuality, where everyone feels respected for their choices, preferences, and sexual expression. And of course, the natural ebbs and flows in libido that accompany the hormonal fluctuations during our cycle. Let's break the stigmas and create a world where we feel empowered to embrace our unique sexuality without fear or judgment, because understanding and acceptance paves the way for a more inclusive and supportive society for everyone, regardless of their gender or sexual preferences. So express yourself through your sexuality. Lean in and acknowledge when you feel more sexy, more beautiful, when your sex drive is high. It's a natural part of life.